This is going to be your weekly tarot and oracle relationship reading. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies you may have been experiencing in the previous days, how you're feeling today, and energies for the upcoming days. Now, in the background, I've got two kitty cats who could possibly be engaging in some play. Of course, you know the sounds in the background as per usual. I am back home in my regular filming location, so be prepared for kitty interruptions. Now, as I'm filming this, yes, it is a day later than I normally film it. Just got back home, as I mentioned. But it's interesting, you know, there's no accidents about when we film something or when we do something. The timing is the timing. Now, this weekend, there's some very interesting aspects with Venus. So the focus right now is very much on relationships. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe this was intended to be filmed today when these vibes were so strong. Now, let's take a look at the overall themes and messages for this reading today. And we have here, stand in your power. Be passionate about your vision. Bring about positive change. So, you know, this is a number 14 card. 1 + 4 is 5. 5 means big changes ahead. So there could very well be some big changes ahead in regards to relationships. Now, let's take a look at this deck here. This is the 1111 Oracle. Let's see what kind of message we need to know regarding relationships. Well, spiritual protection. You're spiritually protected. Call on your angels. Clear and ground your energy and develop psychic boundaries. Okay, well, that means basically you've got to protect yourself, stay in your present power, and make the moves. Okay, let's take another one here. This is the Sweet Love Tea Oracle. And with that, we have Sweet Allure. Embrace the unknown and let love bloom on its own. Now, this says mystery, believe, and of course, let go. Let go of any expectations. Allow things to unfold naturally. You know, you don't always have to know every detail of a relationship. You want things to grow in reasonable time. Nothing has to be rushed. So let's take a look at the before tarot. This is the energies that you may have experienced in the previous days. We're going to take a look at what's in your headspace, your person's headspace, your heart space, their heart space, overall energy and underlying energy. And of course, feel free to swap sides if it makes more sense. Now, let's take a look here at your headspace. Previous days. Okay, so 9 of Pentacles. You're working on self-confidence, self-worth, self-value, and self-respect. This is saying feel good in your own skin. Do something nice for yourself. Generally about feeling good. Now, with that, we have here the 7 of Swords. Okay, here's the thing. It's almost like you're getting ready to live your authentic truth, as in, you know, maybe take off the mask. And sometimes the mask can just be about fear, you know, fear of the unknown, fear of change. But essentially, this is about being who you authentically are and not apologizing for that. So your headspace is going through some change here, ultimately, right? Your way of thinking. Now, in your person's headspace, there is the 6 of Wands. And 6 of Wands is about, in this case, preparation for victory. Because this is a card, typically, if we were in the regular tarot, that would say public recognition, victory, all good, right? So somebody's preparing for some sort of victory. And there's the 8 of Wands, which is manifestation, communication, and shooting your shot. So essentially here, you have an energy where someone is in preparation to communicate and to be clear. Now, you're both actually preparing for something where there's authenticity involved or clarity involved. So I'm curious to see how this plays out in the rest of the cards. Now, in your heart space, we have here the Ace of Wands. So it's almost like you're getting ready to receive this wand. So this is a spark, this is a purpose, and could very well be a passionate new beginning. So let's take a look at what else you need to know here. Okay, so you've got the 9 of Wands, and 9 of Wands tells me that you have been in wounded warrior energy. And you might still be battling that, you know, battling an old story about the wounds of the past. Now, I don't always do math with my tarot cards, but I will say that if you were to add this Ace of Wands to this 9 of Wands, you'd have the 10 of Wands, which basically says mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally exhausted and ready to put down the burdens. And when you put down the burdens from the 10 of Wands, you have what? 1 + 0 is a 1. You have the Ace of Wands. So there's your passionate new beginning, your new purpose, your spark, and your creativity. You know, something as a side note that I should mention, a conversation that's come up quite frequently lately is about creativity. Creativity is asking questions and birthing new ideas. And, you know, this is feminine energy because you are birthing something new. So when you are in your sort of questioning mode, that does bring about new energies for you, new sparks. Now, please don't confuse this, though, with masculine energy of doing and problem solving and making moves. I always say that if you're doing something for your own personal growth and evolution, there's nothing wrong with questioning, as in to figure out the details of how to get to where you want to be. You know, if I want to start a photography business, I need to find out what type of camera I need, what brand might be the best, what kind of software do I need, what accessories do I need, lenses, what are different shots, different angles. I mean, I could go on forever with all these questions, but essentially that kind of questioning is going to bring you growth and change in your personal life. However, if you are in a relationship setting and you're saying, well, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? This, that, whatever, who, what, when, where, why, and how, you're trying to control the outcome. So that version of masculine energy is what's going to push energy away from you, okay, in regards to relationships. For your own personal self, question all you want. Do whatever you need to do, become more self-aware, or to do the things that are going to bring you change. So essentially, if you're in this energy that says new creativity and allowing yourself to receive the ideas and to explore them, that puts you more in your feminine energy. Now, in your person's heart space, we have here there you go, 6 of Pentacles, equal giving and receiving and balance. Now, 6 could be an angel number that you're seeing. That's all about peace and reciprocity. It can also be a card of investment. So it could very well be that your person is investing in something emotionally. Now, with that, we have here the Page of Pentacles. This is an offer. Somebody's preparing an offer. Now, this can also be some studying and some learning and some recognition. Maybe at work, they might be recognized for something because they've been investing themselves, but it can also be, again, about investing within this relationship. Now, overall energy, we have the Judgment card. So this is getting ready for a wake-up call. This is heeding the call, transformation, right? Major change. And with that, we have here the Queen of Wands. So this is confidence, strutting your stuff, believing in yourself. Now, underlying energy is the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so somebody or both of you are getting ready to deal with feeling left out in the cold. You know, this is an energy that says, I don't feel included. Something just doesn't feel right. There's some change that's necessary here. But not only that, it can also be about negative thinking or drawing attention to your weaknesses. So we've got to be very careful about what we're thinking, feeling, doing, and saying, because of course that manifests. And you know what I'm going to say when you see this card, right? This wouldn't be a Kelly Lorraine reading without it. Are you in the old? Are you in the new? Because somebody's getting ready to make a decision about what to do. And honestly, this is about making a decision to be taken out of the cold. Or maybe this is somebody who's tired of feeling left out in the cold, or tired of the same old, and change is necessary. Okay, so let's take a look at the current energies right now and see what you may be experiencing. In your headspace, there's the 5 of Swords. And I'm not surprised, actually, because yesterday I happened to do a tarot texting for someone. I offer a tarot texting service, if you didn't know this, where you can text me a question about your connection or about your life, and I respond within about 24 hours, you know, with some cards and a picture of your cards. And essentially, this card came out, and I was thinking about this actually after the fact, about the 5 of Swords in general, not so much about, you know, the reading, but the 5 of Swords is conflict. It's having headaches, and this is basically telling you to put down the swords. You know, like nothing good comes from conflict. Now, conflict, yes, can bring things to the surface and can bring about change, because 5s are all about changes. But at a certain point, it's like, why? You know, why fight? You know, why go against the grain? So essentially, 5 of Swords is basically saying to you, in your headspace, you got to get out of that conflict. It's not manifesting anything good for you. Now, with that, we have here the Moon. Well, there you go. The Moon is about worry and anxiety. It can also be, there's kitty cats playing with each other. It can also be about trusting your intuition, but ultimately it's telling you to surrender. Put down the swords, surrender, let go, let things unfold naturally. You know, again, when we try to control the outcome, that's when we get in trouble, and that's when emotions run high and cause difficulties. So in your person's headspace, we have here the 10 of Swords. Now, interesting that we talked about the 10 of Wands earlier, you know, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally exhausted. In your person's headspace, the 10 of Swords is saying too many swords in the back, gotta let go of some old fights, conflicts, whatever it is, and start new. Because again, 1 plus 0 is 1, new beginnings. Now, the Judgment card over here is a number 20 card. You know, when we see XX, we have 10, 10. Now we had the 10 of Swords here. So we are seeing 10s. I did mention the 10 of Wands in general. So 10s indicate endings, which bring new beginnings. And with that, we have here the, oh, I love this, the King of Pentacles. Okay, so the King of Pentacles, this is my whole point. It's been a long journey. Got to let go of the conflict. Got to make decisions and see where they take you. You know, everything is about a journey. The decisions you make along the way basically tell you, you know, what experience and knowledge. And this is your abundance. This is saying, I feel good. I've come a long way. But it's because of letting go of old stuff. Now, in your heart space, we have here the Page of Cups. Now, this is a very sweet picture, obviously. But the Page of Cups is a brand new emotional beginning. Okay, this is the early stages of something. This is believe in miracles. Anything is possible. You have to believe that you can have all the best of the best of the best. You know, and it's interesting, another side note, I came across a TikTok this morning that talked about affirmations and whether or not they work. And it was this debate about why affirmations can or cannot work. And really, when it comes down to it, I always say this, your energy has to match your words. You can say all the affirmations you like, but you have to believe in what you're saying. Now, I think the consensus in the video was that, yeah, affirmations do work, but again, it all depends on what is your intention behind it. You know, intention is everything. The energy you put out will dictate what you get in return. So in other words, you want to have the belief that everything's always working out for you. Now here, see, there you go. There's the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups is ask and you shall receive. So if you are open to receiving without trying to control things, you are more than likely going to receive exactly what you need. Now, again, the universe doesn't always give you what you want, but it will give you what you need, even if it's a difficult lesson that will bring you the rewards over time, just like that King of Pentacles that I mentioned earlier. So in your heart space, it's almost like you're much more open to receiving something new, whatever that is. The head here is basically saying, man, you got to get out of that conflict and you got to surrender a bit here and see where things go. Now, in your person's heart space, we have, let's see. There you go, the Knight of Wands. Well, this is passion in the pants, and that's not surprising. This is an energy that can be very spicy. It's hot. It's motivation. The only thing about the Knight of Wands is that it can ride in very quickly and it can leave just as fast. We want consistent energy, right? We don't mind the heat, but we want it to stay. Now, with that, we have, well, there you go. There's the answer to this. We have the Knight of Wands and now the King of Wands. So I love that progression. So what this is telling me is, in all aspects here of these cards, I've noticed that we've gone from sort of one thing to another, as in, you know, we're going to let go of something and then go on the journey. We're going to, you know, be motivated and go towards the end goal here, which is purpose, passion, and nurturing something. So I love the fact that this went from the Knight of Wands to the King of Wands. And look at this King energy on your person's side here. That's great to see, because that's somebody who is strong, has pushed their way through, shows ambition, and really is able to let go of things and make change. Now, overall energy here, we have the 4 of Swords. And this is basically saying currently healing is necessary. This could even be taking a break, a nap, whatever it is, but healing is important for you. Yeah, healing your mind, because the 8 of Swords here is saying the illusion of mental entrapment. It's basically telling you, give your brain a rest, give your mind a rest. You know, focus on the things you can control versus the things you can't control, because you're only going to manifest more of the things you don't want in that aspect. Now, actually, just as I'm looking at this card, I'm kind of drawn over back to the Sweet Allure card that we talked about in the opening, and it said believe. It said, embrace the unknown and let love bloom on its own. And that Page of Cups, that 9 of Cups over here is really in tune with that card. Stand in your power. It kind of feels like this is really, you know, coming full circle back to those original cards. Now, underlying energy here is the 4 of Pentacles. So this is my point. are you holding yourself back? It's one thing to ask for happiness, another thing to allow it. It's one thing to ask for peace, another thing to allow it. You know, you have to allow yourself to let go of the old stuff because it's not serving you. Now, 4-4 could be an angel number that you're seeing. 44 means you are spiritually protected. I just mentioned these top cards, and now all of a sudden I'm getting confirmation for the middle card. And with that, we have here the 7 of Cups. Now, 7 of Cups is one of those energies that can be about illusions. It can be about dreams. If you're having any weird dreams lately or very vivid dreams, I know that I've been having a lot of vivid dreams lately, but granted, I feel like my answer every morning is, yeah, weird dreams, you know, or crazy dreams. But beyond that, though, the 7 of Cups means you have all these options and you have to make sure that you make a decision, because not making a decision is, in fact, making a decision. And I want to remind you also, and when we're talking about manifestation, I advise you not to just say that I have options, because if you say you have options, you're going to have every single option imaginable, and even the ones you don't like. That's why I always say, make sure you're specific. I have quality options, or put in whatever word you want to that suits how you feel. But you don't want to just say you have options, because of course we have options every single day of our lives. You want to have quality options in front of you. Now, let's take a look at the after tarot to see what's in the upcoming days. And like I said, this weekend is really energy, Venus energy, that's all about relationships. Oh, I got a kitty cat that wants to shake the camera. Excuse me if she does that. She decided she wants to make an appearance after a few weeks of me being away. This is her making her mark, obviously. Let's take a look at your headspace here. And look, justice. Equal giving and receiving and balance. We talked about investment earlier. This is about you finding peace and harmony and justice in your life. And on top of that, the justice card can also mean contracts, paperwork, legalities, marriage, divorce, whatever it is. We want to find the truth and the clarity here to have the balance and the fairness. And with that, we have here the Knight of Swords. Now, this is you now wanting to move forward quickly. You may even have a quick decision to make. There might be no time to waste. So make that decision and see where it takes you. Now, in your person's headspace, we have here the Page of Cups. I love it. So we had the Page of Cups in the current energy. Now this is really, really nice, because the Page of Cups here in the near future is basically saying, you know, those miracles are arriving. And with that, we have the Queen of Cups. Love it, because the Queen of Cups typically, yes, you know, trust your intuition more than ever. This is important. At the same time, you know, Queen of Cups is known as someone who overgives to everybody else and puts herself last. And so this is just saying, lean back, allow yourself to receive these blessings that are coming in. Now, in your heart space, we have here the Knight of Cups. Wow, we're getting the emotions now. So really, this is drinking from the cup. This is drinking from the cup of love, essentially. This is, you know, some really nice romantic energy. So let's see what else you need to know here. Oh my goodness. You know, we've had 3 kings in this reading already. And now we just finished talking about the Page of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Cups. We just had all the court cards of the emotions. So King of Cups, Queen of Cups, we have counterparts. We even had the Queen of Wands earlier and the King of Wands. We're really getting partnership here. And by the way, as a side note, you know, Libra energy of the Justice card here, Libra is the sign of partnerships. I mean, it rules the 7th house in astrology, which is partnerships. So in other words, look at this sort of union energy that we have. Not surprised with that Venus energy that I've been mentioning for the weekend especially. Now, in your person's heart space, there's another Cups card, you know, the 5 of Cups. But the 5 of Cups traditionally, without this, you know, after tarot energy, would be, okay, grief and crying over spilled milk and disappointment. But in this version, this is basically saying, not going to cry over this anymore. And look what's behind them, these 2 cups. So there's an opportunity here to get past that old grieving or disappointment and pick up those 2 cups. And who are those 2 cups for? Partnerships, right? And there, oh, love it. Now, we just talked about all this king energy. The Emperor is the king of kings. So this is somebody who's calm, cool, collected, does not play around. This is somebody who makes power moves. You know, this is very strong energy. Somebody's making moves. Love it. That's another number 4 card, so 444. Overall energy here, the Devil. But the Devil card here is, of course, the after tarot, which is lovely because this means now that the restrictions are being broken, the chains are being broken, because there's this couple here and they're not struggling anymore. There they are, sort of like, you know, joined together. And so those restrictions are not there. Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. There's the Lovers. The Lovers here are actually in this card, right? So there's the Lovers right here. Gemini energy. We're in Gemini season. The Lovers is obviously a deep soul connection, soulmates, twin flames, whatever label you'd like to use. But not only that, this is a decision in love. Some of you may have a decision about where your connection is going. Now, again, the Lovers card is number 6. So we've had 6s, which is balance, equal giving and receiving. Now, underlying energy, beautiful. The Ace of Pentacles is a tangible new beginning. You know what's interesting, actually, is I've heard someone describe this card as sort of like the road to proposal, because essentially this is like an offering here, a tangible new beginning. The coin is the investment in something. The scarab in the hand here is all about nourishment. So this is like offering of something. So that's really nice. That's an investment, you know, in something long term. There you go. You can't even make this up. There's the Queen of Pentacles. She's receiving that pentacle. Now, we had the King of Pentacles earlier. So we basically went from the Ace of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, and there she is receiving. The rabbit in the image here is all about new beginnings and fertility and birthing something new. So essentially, this is about receiving something really nice and stable. So this definitely feels in line with the energies that have been going on astrologically. Now, don't get me wrong, there have been a lot of wounds coming up for people in the last little while. I mean, Chiron is, you know, all about wounds. So if you've been feeling those wounds, oh, interesting, there's a card. I haven't seen this deck in a few weeks, and I actually took this specific deck with me, so I don't know where this card came from. Let's take it. Let's take it just as an overall, just to see what it is. Flow with the rhythm. Get lost in the rhythm of movement today. I love that. So we talked about this, going with the flow. There you go right there. Embrace the unknown and let love bloom on its own. Mystery, believe, let go. So go with the flow. Wow. Flow with the rhythm. So that could just be telling you today, get up and go, make some moves, dance, exercise, whatever it is. But that's really, really nice. Let's take a look at the Power of Surrender cards here for some last messages. Now, we're going to take a Power of Surrender card for this side. Oops, as I'm moving the cards. And one for this side here. So, for the left side, we have, oh my goodness, you can't even make this up. Surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. How many times now? This is telling us to go with the flow. Let things unfold naturally. It's really a trust the process kind of vibe. And I know, again, it's not easy for people, right? We want to try to control things. But trusting the process means living your life. Doesn't mean waiting on anybody or anything. And with that here on your person's side, oh, well, there's the Knight of Wands energy that I just spoke about. Surrender to passion. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. How many times have we heard the word flow now? Flow. Flow, flow, flow. Let go. Wow. Beautiful. I really hope this reading resonates with you. As always, thank you for your kindness, your support, the likes, the comments, the shares. It really does mean the world to me. If you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in my bio. Again, thank you so, so much, and I wish you an amazing day.